Welcome to the first update of 2018 from Ankiradu. We've had a bit of snow down, as you can see, since the last time we spoke. Winter has finally arrived. So this will be an update on how sheep are doing in this adverse weather, and also a bit of a focus on composting setup we have here on the farm and vermicomposting. So storm Emma is well and truly hit. Moving them within the nets is working really well. And when we hit the extremes like we have at the moment, I've been letting them out of the nets and stopping the daily moves. So basically, the girls here have been, finding their own bits of shelter in this terrain, in amongst the trees and in amongst the dips and the hollows on the landscape. Just grazing for themselves as and when they can, and then topping it up with supplemental feed. The fodder quality this time of year is really low, so I have been supplementing it with mineral licks and some additional feed here and then. Regardless of how much good gear you've got on you and how well wrapped up you are, it's bitterly cold out here in these Derry Bay Hills at the moment, so it's definitely a day to let these guys get back in the shelter, and for myself to get back in the shelter and get on with some jobs inside. This is the simple 4-bay system we've set up. These are 900mm wide and about 1.2 meter deep, and at the end there we have the IBC, which is our vermicomposting unit, and I've just put a very basic tin roof over the bins just to cover it from most of the rain that comes in. You can see here this is a real mix of material. The compost is cooking nicely. We're up at about 55, 56 degrees. So this pile has had 2 turns so far, and I'm going to turn it a final time and then put it out to season in a pile in a field, I would say. I'm not too worried about it being too fine. It's not potting mix we're after. The cuttings and peelings from fruit and veg are coming from the Happy Camper locations. And I'm getting about, at the moment, I think it's about 35 or 40 kilos a week, which is quite a lot. So I plan to put that through the compost and probably finish some of the rough compost from that through here. It's just a standard IBC. I haven't done anything to it at all, apart from cut the top off, as you can see, and this gives access down inside. The 2 galvanized pieces of steel you see here are part of an old wooden shipping crate that I had just lying around. The idea is to take these old roof tiles that I have lying around. You can see the profile of them here, and lay them in the bottom of the tank across on those galvanized pieces to create a sump below them, and then load up cardboard compost, the worms on top of that, and just top feed. And the height of it is just at chest height, which gives me nice easy access into it. I really didn't want to cut the IBC in half because I don't intend to be taking out any of the worm castings themselves on a regular basis. I wanted as big a volume as possible. The real target here is for the leachate, which will come out the spigot at the bottom. These guys and they were more than happy to send the organic matter my way and get on the vibe for compostable cups and takeaway boxes and forks and things. So here's an example of the compostable takeaway cartons and plates and things that we're getting. You can see here the product name Vegware, made from a sugarcane raw product. So what I'm doing is I'm just running these through an ordinary garden chipper, and what we end up with is a very fine chopped material here that's basically ready to be used as brown material straight into your compost. I'm really not an expert on this, so I'm just going to play around and see what works best. And of course the leachate from here will be used to make compost tea in batches, and that'll feed into the pasture trial that I'm carrying out here. Thanks for tuning in.